Welcome back to Hollywood Pulse. Appreciate all the support y'all been showing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single drop. Nicki Minaj just dropped some wild receipts. She's straight up accusing Roc Nation of running secret setups against rappers, and she's naming names like Jay Z and convicted criminal turned government informant Desiree Perez. But Nicki ain't just talking mess. She's connecting Roc Nation to Tory Lanez's sentencing, 6ix99's snitch label drama, Casanova's RICO charges, and way more.
And there's a lot of rappers behind the scene that want to talk about it and they're scared. But sweetheart, I'm not scared. I'm legendary in these streets. You know how many artists I've spoken to behind the scenes that are too afraid to speak up?
So you'll speak. We'll speak, y'all.
I'm gonna speak because y'all can't touch me. I am completely protected. I am protected by God. Y'all don't see that by now?
And here's the craziest part. What ties all these rappers together is they spoke out against Desiree Perez. But it gets even nastier. Desiree's own daughter is backing Nicki. She claims her mom had her locked up in a mental institution for no reason. If Desiree would do that to her own flesh and blood, what's she gonna do to Nicki now that Nicki's leaking proof Roc Nation is working with the feds? And if you think this sounds fake, go look up Desiree's daughter exposing her. No major mainstream outlet reported on it. But that's why Nicki's speaking out with hard evidence that Roc Nation's been working with the government. So what did Nicki actually drop? She shared a screenshot claiming Roc Nation and Desiree Perez been working with federal authorities to keep rappers under control by using their legal problems against them. The screenshot describes Desiree as a confidential informant for federal law enforcement. And this ain't no random DM. It's from a lawsuit filed by Desiree's own daughter, Dare Hadley. Court docs show Desiree forcibly institutionalized Dare with zero medical reason. Dare even shared body cam footage of her getting dragged into the mental hospital, and she claims her mom orchestrated the whole thing. Now wait for the disgusting reason behind it. Dare's complaint says Desiree used her money and power to tear her away from her husband, Javon Hadley. Desiree threatened to Baker Act her if she didn't divorce him, referring to Florida's law, letting cops or doctors lock someone up for 72 hours if they're a danger due to mental illness. Here's the sick part. Dare says Desiree wanted her to leave Jevon because he's black. That's right. The woman Jay Z picked to run Roc Nation is being called a racist. Dare's complaint says Desiree pulled her back and said, "I'm going to Baker Act you if you stay with that N-word. I will have you committed." And to prove she wasn't unstable.
So legally, I can go home.
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker acted.
Body camera video shows the moments Broward deputies encouraged Demore Hadley to get into this pickup truck with people she says she didn't know.
I can't ride with you and you guys take me?
You're going to be in handcuffs, so dog's not going to be able to come?
I don't want to be handcuffed.
Okay.
Demore says they took her to a hospital for a mental health evaluation after this doctor signed paperwork saying she was a risk to herself.
What he told me was, we received a call from your family that you tried to OD the night before.
A doctor she says she'd never met before. And according to Demore, it's her own mother who's behind it. In this lawsuit, she claims her mother, Desiree Perez, used unlawful means to have Demore falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Act.
So she's the CEO of Roc Nation, a company that she owns along with Sean Carter, the famous rapper Jay Z.
Dare dropped pages of medical records showing she was sober with no mental health crisis when her mom got her locked up. She posted them with the caption calling out, "Paid fake Instagram pages, blogs, and fake social media accounts spreading false fabricated stuff. I never did drugs. I never drank alcohol." That's what Desiree Perez's daughter said while exposing her mom. But how does this tie into Nicki Minaj? Well, Nicki's been warning everyone about Desiree and Jay Z for so long, but folks kept calling her bitter and ignored her. Remember last year when Nicki and Megan Thee Stallion were throwing diss tracks at each other? That's when Nicki threatened to expose Desiree's shady moves and accused her of firing a bunch of Roc Nation employees for no reason. Nicki wrote, "On the next song, I delve into all the people Desiree allegedly fired for unknown reasons. So many people were blindsided and hurt by her, allegedly. She's willing to go broke to try to replace me. Fix it, Jesus." Turns out those employees weren't fired randomly. They got cut because they were Nicki fans. And now, Desiree's own daughter, Dare, is backing Nicki up, claiming Desiree and Roc Nation have done disgusting things behind the scenes to ruin Nicki. In a recent interview, Dare said Roc Nation even targeted her family, her husband and her son. That's cold-blooded.
Roc right now.
Dare compared what Nicki went through to her own forced hospitalization, saying Desiree and Roc Nation are way more evil and dangerous than people know. After Nicki saw Dare's lawsuit and her interviews, she clapped back on X, posting, "To the PMs who claim it wasn't made clear to your ugly asses, hopefully Dare's massive and detailed page-by-page claim gets you all the way caught up. Never call me a liar. Never insinuate it either. Every single angel ever created fights for me at the mere mention of that word, as it relates to me. Vengeance is the Lord's. Be careful. No one who conspired on the wrong side will go unpunished for the role they played in this movie. I hope it was all worth it." Nicki confirmed Roc Nation really targeted her husband and child. She said powerful people still trying to rip a husband away from his wife and family.
Earlier this month, officers arrived at Minaj's home around 6 p.m. to investigate a report that Nicki's 3-year-old son was being abused. After examining the toddler, officers determined he was safe and they left, but another call was made in the early morning hours, and around 3 a.m. Minaj and her family were awakened after a fire was reported at her home. Firefighters arrived and found no flames. Swatting is a term used by law enforcement officials used to describe an act of making a false report in order to get a response from police that can involve an armed SWAT team.
Now here's where it gets even crazier. Remember when Nicki's house got swatted multiple times starting mid-2023? That wasn't random. Nicki says it was part of Roc Nation's sick campaign against her. First, someone called cops claiming Nicki was hurting her child, but LAPD investigated and found nothing. Then, hours later, another fake call came in about a fire at her house. But it didn't stop there. Just weeks later, cops showed up again after someone claimed Nicki got shot. They searched and found no evidence of any crime. According to the LA Times, the LA County Sheriff's Department got a call about an incident in Hidden Hills. The caller claimed a friend shot a black woman. But later, it came out that this 911 call was just another swatting stunt.
Rapper Nicki Minaj there was no evidence of any crime.
A neighbor told the LA Times law enforcement showed up at Nicki's crib. So yeah, this was clearly coordinated to intimidate Nicki. All this happened while she was publicly calling out Roc Nation and hinting at something way bigger happening behind closed doors. So when Desiree's daughter says Desiree and Roc Nation are willing to destroy people who don't play along, and then Nicki starts getting swatted with her child targeted, you gotta ask yourself, was this Roc Nation's playbook? Were they sending her a message? Because none of this feels random anymore. And don't forget, Desiree Perez got a dark past. Nicki got targeted because she exposed what no one else dared to say, that Roc Nation ain't just a record label, but a front for federal operations targeting rappers. And right at the center is Desiree Perez, a convicted criminal turned government informant, according to investigative accounts on X Resists programming. Back in 1994, Desiree got arrested with 35 kilos of cocaine and conspiracy to distribute illegal substances. Court records reviewed by the New York Daily News said she was charged by federal authorities for running a criminal operation from New York to Florida to Puerto Rico. And she wasn't alone. Her husband Juan O.G. Perez was involved too. He's one of Jay Z's closest homies. They go way back, and in the mid-90s, they even started the 40-40 Club together. Later, Jay Z made Juan the Roc Nation sports president. They're still tight family friends to this day. Now you're probably wondering, what happened after Desiree got caught with all that coke? Well, she only got 5 years probation because she flipped and became a federal informant. She even wore a wire to help the feds lock up her former partners. According to a 2014 New York Daily News article, the feds were loving her work as an informant and called her their star mole. The report also called Desiree a Manhattan nightclub manager with a long rap sheet and close ties to Jay Z, saying she had a long and wild history as a DEA cooperating witness and then a fugitive. And just 'cause she got pardoned doesn't mean her informant days are over. According to Nicki Minaj, both Desiree Perez and Jay Z are straight-up government snitches. She claims Roc Nation ain't just a music label, it's basically a Fed front designed to set up rappers and keep the whole rap game under government watch. So who are the artists Roc Nation allegedly set up? The most obvious example is Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez goes to jail. They gave y'all all the facts of the juice of Tory Lanez going to jail and this, that, and the third, and Megan getting arrested and da-da-da-da. 2 days after that, I get a call from Roc Nation that says, yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement.
Tory got convicted in December 2022 for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, but there were major cracks in the case. Key evidence like gunshot residue didn't match the claim that Tory fired the gun, and bullet fragments supposedly removed from Megan's foot mysteriously disappeared. Detective Stagner testified during Tory's trial saying the fragments cannot be located. Plus, several witnesses said a woman actually fired the shots, while Tory's team raised doubts about the bullet trajectory and chain of custody. And here's the wild part. Before he got sentenced, Tory publicly accused Roc Nation of setting him up. Then after his guilty verdict, Tory's dad exploded outside court, yelling to cameras that Desiree Perez, Jay Z, and Roc Nation trade and barter the souls of young men.
I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it.
But Tory ain't the only one. Just like Nicki warned, any rapper who speaks out against Roc Nation ends up facing legal trouble. Take 6ix9ine. He got dragged for being the ultimate snitch when he cooperated with the feds on his RICO case. But nobody talks about how he also went against Roc Nation and teamed up with Nicki to publicly call out Desiree Perez. Then there's Casanova. He had ties to Roc Nation and got slammed with federal RICO charges too, and his case had suspicious timing. He was just starting to speak out against Roc Nation's shady business moves, and months later, the feds came knocking. Casanova was officially sentenced for his alleged crimes as part of the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation gang on June 27th. Casanova, real name Caswell Sr., got 188 months, that's 15 years behind bars, from U.S. District Judge Philip Halper. And the way his indictment rolled out follows the same exact pattern Nicki exposed. Get rappers locked into contracts, control them, and when they resist, burn them. But here's the craziest part. There are more names on Nicki's list. And it ain't just rappers. We're talking managers, judges, execs, media insiders. If Nicki drops everything she's holding, we might just watch Roc Nation collapse in real time. Like, share, comment your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button for more insane exposés. See you on the next one.